What's going on, guys? It's Cheesy here, and we have another F1 2019 video. So for this race, we're going to be going over to China, and I'm actually going to upload or update the difficulty, and I'm going to turn it up by 10. So we have a little bit more competition here, and I think that'll really benefit us. As you saw, I changed my name, and if you don't want to see the explanation and stuff, in short, I just want to change it so it wasn't derogatory. But we have a Sunday breakdown that talks all about that. We're going to be going through our messages, and it looks like the weather's going to be clear and nothing new. So we'll hop into our F1 2019, FP1, so free practice 1, and I'll catch you guys once we're in a car, and we're going to be going out into the qualifying simulation, I think.
Welcome to
Not qualifying simulation,
Chinese
but
Grand
the
Prix.
track acclimatization, so I'll see you guys there.
Welcome then to all our viewers, and of course to Anthony Davidson as well. Now, Ant, I wanted to ask you, obviously there's a lot of hard work involved in these sessions, a lot of simulations as well. Is this something the drivers enjoy, or is it just a routine that becomes a chore?
There's nothing routine about driving a Formula 1 car, I can tell you that. 300 kilometers per hour down the straights, 4G through the corners. It's hard to ignore those forces acting on your body. It's lap after lap of hard, exhausting work. You always enjoy driving these cars. It's a real privilege. Although I must say, if you're having a day where you can't get the car to do what you want and it's generally underperforming, then it's a lot harder to stay motivated. But never a chore, no. Even if you're having a tough start to the weekend, at this point you know that if you work hard at it, there's still an opportunity to turn things around.
Alright, so I want to go into the car. So now we're here, and I muted myself there so you guys could hear what was going on. But I want to go into the qualifying pace simulator to see where we stand. I know this track, I've watched it, and I've seen it, but I don't know how I'll be doing around the first couple corners, so I just want to see where I'm at. So, as you see, it puts us in the back, and we have a goal of 13th place, so that's where we want to be. And I think we'll be able to put a little bit higher, push the car to its limit. Excuse me. And as we just slow down here to check everything in MFD, and someone needs to move those cones, as I said before. Everybody needs to move those cones. So we start a flying lap in the qualifying pace program, the first qualifying pace program. We have to brake a little bit early, and we're ahead of everything, but I don't know how that'll turn out for us. And it's easy to run wide in these corners just because if you get early on the power. So I don't know. It's a 3-lap program, but I think if we finish first, then it's done, which would make sense. So we set a fastest sector 1, as you can see on the MFD on the left-hand corner, but I don't know how that'll phase us. We're almost a second up on the delta time. So I hope maybe the difficulty is not that high, or maybe the track will just be spaced out. Almost getting 1.8 tenths as we come in, and I know that the AI can't carry as much speed through this corner. This one coming up, the right-hander, that's fast and a little bit not too steep though, and they can't carry as much speed, but hopefully we'll be able to gain a couple tenths using all of the track and get up to almost 1.8 still staying there. So I think that's where we'll stand. I think if we do the qualifying pace, we don't need to have any other practice program. Maybe for the R&D, research and developments, research points. We'll come into the last corner, 2.6 almost, so we gain another second somehow within those past 2 corners, and it's 7. Target 7 complete? I know, okay, first. So that's how it is, and move on, and we'll go to the end of the session. I'll catch you guys during that, and then we'll move on to qualifying. So you guys can see that we went number 1 on that soft, and we're almost 1.9 ahead of everybody else, which is kind of crazy. We're high up. Yep, so tomorrow's, or technically it wouldn't be tomorrow, but in the simulation
Amazing
it is.
performance out
So
there.
this is
I'm
the
sure you're pretty happy with
interviewer
that.
or the interviewee,
You were
and
flying in practice. Do you think
we
you can
carry
carry
this
this
over?
over to qualifying?
I mean, I would assume so, but I want to give credit to the
It's the
car
start of the
department
season. How do you think
and
things
the
are going to go for
powertrain.
you?
Let's talk about showman.
Great. Well, that's
I didn't
everything.
think that would, or actually, that didn't seem like a showman answer, but I guess it is what it is. So it'll say we're going over to qualifying 2 or practice 2, but I think we'll just simulate those sessions instead, and we'll carry over into everything else. So we get those research points, or no, it is resource, and we get a fair amount of them. 100 from just the qualifying program that we did. That's 150 flat, and then we got a 504. No upgrades, and we get more to veteran. And I want to simulate this session and move on to the one-shot qualifying. So if you guys want to see different qualifying modes, there are different qualifying modes in this game. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. So we do get resource points from simulated sessions. That's probably going to be somewhere around 200, 230, and that moves us up. So as you saw, we use those resource points to upgrade the car, which will be coming in, and no emails just saying weather forecast again. Everything will be dry. Thank goodness, because I don't want a wet car. But it'll show us that highlight reel, and I'll catch you guys once we get starting our flying lap.
Welcome to Shanghai, China, for what I've no doubt is going to be a fantastic F1 qualifying session. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily. It's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
Alright, so one-shot qualifying in Shanghai International Circuit. We're going to go for the soft, of course, and everything's going to stay the same. So we have those 5 red lights, and away we go. We're P1, and we can see the ghost cars, so we'll know how fast we're going. And taking this first corner a little bit carefully so we don't overshoot it. Staying on the curb, and good exit. We want to just the curbs a little bit on the exits. Staying away from that one though, because those are high, and we have a fair lead on Bottas. So hopefully we'll be able to keep up with this. Past the sector 1, and I think, I'm not saying we have it in the bag, because we definitely don't, but I think that this could be high points for us if we don't mess up. High points, but high positions in the start. Coming through this straight right here, and I think we'll get some speed out of this one, catapult us into the next corner as we have a little shaky bit right there, but getting really fast, and I think we'll be able to carry some speed and get a couple more seconds on those last 2 corners as we did in practice. To gear 8 now. We're going almost 330, which is crazy. Let's not miss our braking zone on this corner. We don't want to run it a little bit wide. That would probably been a sector or a time deletion in real life, but we're good. And I think it's going to be P1, a racing point, and P1 for Cheesy.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
Let's go. Great. That's
With
nice.
qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Mr. Monaco, Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas. Well, that
Yep.
wraps up qualifying,
Mr.
but
Monaco
don't worry,
on soft,
we'll be back tomorrow
breaking up
as we
the
head into
Mercedes.
the Grand Prix.
Always nice. So we'll be moving on. I don't know if we'll. So
Good
another
day today.
interview.
Let's have your take on it.
We're getting all these interviews now.
It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry
She's
that
talking about always
into the
momentum
race?
and carrying it in, and I think so. I think we'll want to talk about the team and the chassis department. We'll notice that,
We've
which
not
is
seen
always
much
good.
development progression for your car recently. Why is that?
I don't know what to do with the resource points. I'm new to this game. No. I don't think there's anything that you can do to talk about
Appreciate your
increasing
time.
rep with that question. But that's alright. We'll take a decrease for the team. If I could choose the team over me, I would probably choose me, just because I don't want to lose contract. But it's alright. So we'll catch up in the race, and we're gonna get all these resource points and stuff like that. So the rivalry, we still haven't been able to choose a rival, but we get the research points, and it's gonna be time for the race pretty soon. So rep decrease because of that question.
Well done.
But
Very
we'll be
solid
moving
result.
on into the
You're looking
race.
good for the
Thank you,
race.
Claire. Yep, weather looking dry, and see you guys during the race.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1, and of course down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. As with all the drivers at this level, they have a lot of ambition, but Formula One's a daunting step up from any other series, so expectations are high right from the start.
That's right, it is a difficult environment to come into. In junior categories, you're competing against drivers with similar levels of experience, but some of these guys in Formula One have been there for over a decade. But I have to say, in this case, it's so far so good.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Mr. Monaco lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Vettel, Albon, Perez, Butler and Lucas Faber, Norris, Raikkonen, Daniel Kvyat and Gasly, Ricciardo, Magnussen, George Russell and Roman Grosjean. Giovinazzi and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Thank you, Jeff, for P1. I'm hoping to get top 10, so we can't change anything yet. No tires, nothing. But I'm hoping to get a good start. I think we want to keep it around 11,000 RPMs to start and then move it all the way up. And Hamilton, we see, has a great start, amazing start, and so does Verstappen. So we're getting pushed off the edge of the track, and we have to run it a little bit wide, which is disappointing. And we have a collision even, if that, but we'll let everybody, we fall back 5 places, so from 1 to 5, so technically that would be 4 places, and probably this is where the racing point should be, so maybe AI turned out to have better starts, and I just have to practice on the starts, but that's no bueno, not too good. So we'll keep on racing, and we'll see what happens. So I'm unmuting myself right now to make a little cheeky overtake over Leclerc, but I think no, he stays. We're going too wide in these corners, and I have to give him the space, but we get the position, and we're now going to be going after Verstappen. Max Verstappen joined very young in F1 and enjoyed to watch. Keeps it interesting between the two Ferraris.
That start was okay. Now stay alert. Threats around you.
Yeah, I'd probably say okay. And if we can get him during the straight, we're using rich mix, auto ERS, auto deployment, but if we can outbrake him and outbrake, no, we can't outbrake Bottas, but a little bit of contact, but he gives us the room. I think we should have given him some room there, not been too pushy, but that's okay. 5-lap race, I might turn it up to 25% if we like it. If I like this series, and I think this is going to be one of the main series on the channel. Of course, it is Sim Racing, and Motorsport Podcasts is the name of the game here, but I'm not sure what game I want to focus into, whether that's NASCAR Heat or other games. So we're going to chase down the two Mercedes. They have quite a bit of pace now, and if we can open a spot, I'll unmute myself and talk to you guys.
Nice work. That brings you up a place.
So it's been almost a lap and a half, and we overtook Bottas in the beginning of the end of second lap in the same spot that we overtook Verstappen on that second to last corner, that high speed where you go in high speed and then heavy braking zone. And Hamilton has been very hard to catch up to. He has a lot of pace even at this 50% AI level, but it's still crazy things that he can do. And I'm hoping to get to him by the end. So the final lap now, the last lap, about to be the last lap to catch Lewis Hamilton as we set the final fastest lap. And we're gonna have to go lean mixture to not drain the car too much, but that's not gonna be good for us when we're trying to overtake someone. We want to stay in which as long as possible, but we're very close, within nearly a tenth probably, I would say, but we don't know because we'll see right here. Yeah, gap. Little bit. Sorry, that was my phone. I'll turn that off, and we overtake him as I was in the middle of just talking right there. So we overtake him, and I think that'll be P1 for this race if we don't have any more accidents, collisions, nothing like that. And I think we can bring it home for the team. That'll be third race victory in a row. We didn't do too hot in F2, but now we're doing pretty alright. Not the fastest lap that we had, but I think it'll do. Yeah. Thank goodness it's only one more lap, because we would have had a loss of fuel. It's right on our tail with DRS. Alright, so we're gonna have to be late braking and put in a look. If he tries to switch back, move not to, as he did, but we have the inside line of this second corner, and we have the pace to outrun him just at this last stint. And we win the Grand Prix. Let's go. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Tried very hard for that, you know? Hands are sweaty with the controller because we're still playing on that, not the wheel yet, because I'm not used to it. We'll see a Monza video because that's the race this weekend, and I'll play that with the historic car. You'll learn more in the video, but be sure to check that out and just listen to this, and hope you guys enjoy. I'll catch up to you once we get back to our headquarters.
The Racing Point team will be very happy with today's performance and the final result. Another display of excellent driving and excellent teamwork, and a well-deserved first-place finish. So then, it's time to see how this result
that is
affects the Drivers'
P1,
Championship.
and
Mr.
we are
Monaco
now
increases their
still top
championship lead.
of the
Let's focus
championship.
on the driver of the day.
But I'm very
Anthony
happy about
Davidson.
that.
Who do you pick?
Daniel Ricciardo certainly impressed me today.
So Daniel
An
Ricciardo went up
incredible
from 15 to 11.
Let's move on to the
Boy,
constructors.
Danny Rick is
Mercedes
great.
continue to extend their lead. Well,
See, that's what I'm not
to
trying to
another
happen. I'm not
fantastic
trying to have
weekend of
Mercedes
racing.
win the
Thanks to
constructors.
everyone who joined
That's my
us,
main goal
and
of
we'll
this
see you
series.
for the
Not
next
to win the championship for myself, but maybe for the team. But you need a better teammate for that. Another
Amazing
interview, 3
performance
interviews
out there.
of the
I'm
whole
sure you're
weekend.
pretty
That's
happy with
kind of
that.
crazy. But now that we're top,
You're
maybe
breaking all
that's what it is.
expectations. What's your secret?
Great team. Let's talk about the team.
It wasn't the
All
cleanest
for the
race
team.
today, was it?
I don't know what you're talking about there. I don't
Appreciate
know
your
what
time.
you're talking about. Thank you. Appreciate your time. I should always gotta say that. Appreciate your time. Thank you for interviewing me. I appreciate your time. So we back in the room, and we have our rivalry breakdown. We're leading Sergio Perez's rivalry, and hopefully we'll be able to win. It says rivals run, so I don't know if you keep on going over that. We get the research points, and we're getting all these that pretty much add up, and we're getting over 1,000 now. Reputations increased, veteran, and sportsmanship. So we're gonna go in here.
Remember to select a
The
driver
messages
that
are
you consider
stuff.
your rival from the
So we
rivalry
can
screen
choose
on the
rivals now.
workstation.
Right
Performing
then.
well against your rival can earn
Okay.
you respect and better terms when it comes to our contract reviews. Here you can see a list of eligible drivers to declare as your rival. The more challenging they are to beat, the more the paddock will respect you for succeeding.
Alright then.
Just be aware,
That's cool.
you'll lose the same amount of respect if you come off second best. so
All
it
right,
may be
then.
wise not to be overly ambitious.
So Devin Butler was our rival in F2, and I think he'll be our rival in F1. So we have this powertrain, and we have those wind tunnel upgrades, and I think I want to upgrade that for 950. I didn't read the whole number, but we have 100% of that department quality control. So small upgrades, small work, but I think that's where we want to go. Guys, if you enjoyed, please be sure to let me know by giving that thumbs up. If you want to see something changed or something improved, please be sure to leave it in the comments. Don't hesitate to do that. And we're going to have more videos like this coming out. More simulation videos as I talk to Monza 1. So be sure to be on the lookout for that one. And I hope you guys, those that celebrate Labor Day, have a great Labor Day. And until next time, see ya.